Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Shedding through the defense. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw, Mendoza. And the Chiefs are going to get him. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Mendoza. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now Mendoza on 1st and 10. That's caught by Tucker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there. And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
2nd and 10. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
To throw is Mendoza, throwing on 1st down. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, this is what you want to see from your rookie quarterback on an opening drive, Charles. He looks cool. He looks calm. He looks collected in marching them down the field.
And, Brandon, I just think the game continues to change and evolve because we're calling these guys rookies. But, you know, they've thrown the football so much at a younger level now, way more so than what we saw when guys came into the league when you and I came through.
And also just the way, in particular to him, Charles, how he handles himself in meetings, just so professional, mature. Looks like he's been in the league 5 years.
Yeah, he cares about the game. He cares about his performance, and it's showing.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Looking to throw. Mendoza. And this one is going to be off the mark. Too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Carlson able to put this one through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for them there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A good pickup there, 26 yards. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A run by Pacheco on second down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Mendoza now on 1st down. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the 1st quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Yeah, they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Throwing now is Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Jeremy Chin there defensively.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Mahomes firing complete. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that one never got off the ground. He's going to be stopped up well behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Off the play fake, Mendoza. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Mendoza. He finds his man, complete. It's Bowers. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And now here comes Kansas City. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Mahomes going to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Mahomes now to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Mendoza on 1st and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Bowers. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this all the way down to the Chiefs' 29-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the 2nd level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the 2nd level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Mendoza. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
And here's Mendoza. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the Jones. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes. Hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the punt goes out of bounds, so no chance to bring it back, and they will spot it at the 24-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as they used to be, huh?
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action. Mendoza. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Mendoza. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there. 38 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Malcolm Kuntz there on the tackle.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
From the 20, here's second down and 5. They go play fake. Mahomes. Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end Gray. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now second and 9. Now here's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, Mahomes finding his burner, Hardman for the KC first.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the second quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a first down.
Now a throw here to his running back. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Catch is made by Hardman. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
I tell you what, if this is any quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, I'm telling you how this is an ill-advised throw. But 15 is so good on the move with all those different arm angles and releases that all I'm saying now is that's a gorgeous play.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw again. Escapes the sack, and that's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Raiders offense ready to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the play fake, Mendoza. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Now Mendoza throwing on first down. He finds his man complete. That's Bowers. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They moved it a combined 33 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw again. And he will find his man on the outside. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the complete.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker from 6 yards away. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Here's Richie James on the return. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Brought down that time by Quay Walker. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
To throw is Mendoza. To throw on second down. That's to the sideline and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Mendoza now on third down. And that is incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Second, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Mendoza, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance.
Touchdown, Raiders! A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Yeah, 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
following the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down. Mahomes now on first down. And the ball is knocked out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown. And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now. It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over. Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination? Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here. Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run once more with McCannon. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That is caught. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard. Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half. On play action, it's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And again, it's Mahomes. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And here's Mendoza looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Mendoza to throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right. He can't get him down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Now when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
On 1st and 10, Mendoza. He's going to float this one deep right side. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. Mendoza throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Bowers. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got his man. It's Tucker, complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this time he is in. Yes. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 7. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He gets this one complete to Rice. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He finds McKinnon, complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And the Raiders will take over possession here up at the 44. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down to about the 48-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
61 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he's got this down to the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
There for the tackle was Trent McDuffie.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 5.
Here's a give up the middle. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, able to avoid him. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and he'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Raiders continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. following the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because
what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. KC's offense ready to take over. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 16. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Forced out to his left. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Mahomes now on first down. Steps away to his left. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Pitching, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And now off to the races down the right side.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, You could just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Chiefs offense set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Mahomes will try again on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Mahomes to throw once more. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll be brought down at the 37.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. On 1st down, Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now it's Mahomes again. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Butker is on target
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
169 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.